All right, we are here to celebrate a milestone in Oklahoma City University history. It's been 15 years since the Stars won their first women's golf national championship, and we've assembled key members of that team to look back on that feat. I'm Rich Tortorella, and I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Communications at Oklahoma City University, and it was May 20th, 2005, when OCU won the national title by 49 strokes with the top 3 individuals and 4 all-tournament performers at Blackthorn Golf Club in South Bend, Indiana. Well, I just wanted to open up the floor to Derek Freeman here. Derek Freeman was the golf coach for OCU at the time. And Derek, what do you want to say to the team and who we have here?
Well, I think, first of all, it was just such a privilege to be able to start my coaching career at Oklahoma City University. And it really gave me the launching pad to where I am today, being at UCLA. Jim Abbott, the athletic director, Tom McDaniel, the president at that time, and then Coach Blazer, who allowed me to be his assistant the very first year prior to that. So it was incredible. I tell my guys now that my team at OCU works harder than any other team I've ever had. We just, at my very first year, we lost the national championship. And I don't even remember by how many shots, but I just know we lost. And so we just vowed for that next year we were going to work harder and do everything necessary to be successful. And we had the right ingredients. I mean, Emily, was an incredible player for us all year, obviously winning the championship. And so it was just a lot of fun. They worked really, really hard. And I think we did things at a higher level than what other schools were used to at that point. And it paid off at the end. And, to win by 49 shots, I was really trying to get us to 50. But, I'll take 49. That's fine. So it was super exciting. A lot of fun, great memories, wonderful players, wonderful people. It's been fun to watch them grow and have their lives and start families and see their work experience and everything like that. So, my love for OCU and these players has never wavered.
And just going around the horn, we have current OCU women's golf coach Marty Mcauley with us. We have Emily Albrechtson and Christina Carson from that team. And I did want to open up to Marty. And Marty, what do you want to say to the group? Marty, make sure you're unmuted there.
My bad. Okay, thanks. First of all, thanks for including me on the call. The 2005 team obviously was a team that kicked everything off for us to have one of the better programs in the country. And 8 national championships later, we look back at that team as the one that finally broke through and accomplished that great feat. And it's really cool that everybody from that team's gone on to live their lives and be in great places. And I really appreciate the legacy you guys left. And it's an honor to be here now. And I want you guys to know that we talk about the legacy you left quite often with the current girls. So they all know who you guys are.
And we're also joined by Jim Abbott and the OCU athletic director. And Derek mentioned Jim. And Jim, what did you want to say about the 2005 national championship team?
Well, first of all, good morning. It's great to see you. Emily, I don't know if it's morning where you are or what time of day it is, but gosh, changed a bit. And Christina, it is the good thing for you guys is that you'll forever be 22 or 23 years old in my mind. I would say is that second or third year as an athletic director, and it is a miracle that we ended up having Derek Freeman come and join our university and do it basically for free to begin with. I remember, I don't know, just the excitement of the team. We had been knocking on that door and knocking on that door, and to be able to finally kind of cross over and to consider what that opened. You know, once we won it, it was like, well, heck, let's just do this every year. And so I've been at OCU 18 years now. The young ladies on our team now, I'll just tell you, Emily and Christina, they're no different than you guys were. They're mischievous and they're overachievers and they work hard. But more than any of that, they just make us really proud. So I'm sorry that I was late. Of all things, I had a coronavirus test at 11 o'clock. If you haven't done that, let me tell you, it's not nearly as much fun as you would think it would be. But I'm thrilled to be able to join you. I'm thrilled to see you, Coach Freeman. I'm awfully proud of you. It's good to see you're wearing glasses like I am.
I can't see the screen.
Yeah. Anyway, fond memories.
Great. Well, this is another question for the group. Looking back on that accomplishment, just what has that feat meant to you guys?
Emily, take it.
She's trying to figure out how to unmute herself.
I think there. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, Emily, just talk about what this feat meant to you.
This feat team?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best experience I've had since I'm Swedish and I came over in 2002. I was a couple of years older than the other girls. And stayed that way. So I think my nickname was Grandma a couple of times. But I had such an amazing time in Oklahoma, and especially when Coach Freeman came in, I absolutely loved him, and the coaching was amazing, even if we were a little, stubborn sometimes. I have some memories. But yeah, you made us better, and we made each other better, and I had so much fun. I mean, the whole experience was just amazing. And I forgot we won by 49 shots. That's like a lot. And then when we had our win there in 2005 and we walked off to the parking lot, I think it was Tally's parents, I don't remember, but blasted "We Are the Champions" from the car. And that was just amazing. I'm really proud now talking to you guys when I think back. It's like when we did it then, it was like, this is just the way it's supposed to be. We expected it almost. But looking back at it now, I'm really proud of us. We were good. And we had fun. We especially had fun. And I remember he always said, Derek, if it was a raining or a windy day, just don't care about it because everyone else is going to care about it. So you guys don't care about it. And you're ahead by 10 shots right there on the first tee. So the mental aspect was also really, really good. So yeah, it was a great time.
Christina, did you want to address that as well?
I wasn't there. I was Derek's first head case, I think, probably as a coach. I was my own worst enemy. I could go out and shoot par I was goofing around, and then you get me under some pressure and I'd shoot 90 for you, easy. But no, it was great. It was a great learning experience for me, and it taught me a lot in a opposite way about taking things too seriously. And once I gained that, finally in my mid-20s, I excelled when I got out of my own way. Coach D came in too late to the game to save me, but he tried like heck all the way to the end. But no, it was an amazing group of girls, and it taught me true teamwork. We were so supportive of each other, and I couldn't have been prouder. It wasn't ever a jealousy moment, or if any. I was so proud all the time, beyond belief. And Emily taught me a lot too. I don't know if people know Emily's personal story, the reason she even got to golf, but she could write a book in itself about the importance of having your priorities right about what's important in life. And I think Emily was never in her own way because it was just golf. Like she said, that's how she, me, it was the end of the world. And she's like, oh, well, here we go. So it was awesome. It was awesome. Great characters. Every single person loved them. From Jim, but Coach D, just absolutely tremendous. Coach Blazer, amazing. I wouldn't have been there if he wouldn't have bugged me back in 99 or whatever, but it was awesome. I don't know. I'm happy to be I was a chief, and then I turned into a star when I got there, but happy to be a star.
Emily, did you want to address what Christina was talking about? She said that there was a personal story that you had about how you got into golf.
Well, actually, it's my dad he was a huge golfer, and when we were kids, me and my brother was at the school for a while, and I also want to thank Coach Blazer, obviously, for taking me on, but he cut off a 7-iron when I was a kid, and we started playing, and then I got sick in my teens. I had something called Hodgkin's. It's a form of cancer, so I couldn't play at all. And then I started playing more when I was like 17, 18. So I didn't get good. That's why I was older when I came over, because I had, a single handicap when I was like 19, I think. I guess that's what Christina's alluding to, that there are things more important than the game, even though it doesn't always feel like it when you're in it. But it's you have to have some distance. Yeah.
Well,
Rich,
looking back on your experience at OCU, and this is for the group, how do you find that it prepared you for your later career?
Rich?
Yes.
May I cut in for a second? I have one of our future players here that just played a match, and I was going to have her say hello to the girls. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Reagan.
Hello.
Hey, Reagan.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, we're good.
How's your match go, Reagan?
I won 2-1.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Okay. Sorry, she's not quite ready for the podium yet, but we're gonna try to get her there.
Did you want to say anything more about Reagan?
Huh?
She's
she's from Ardmore, Oklahoma, Plainview High School. She won the state championship in 2019, Class 3A. What did you shoot to say? 66-70 to win state in 2019, but it got canceled this year. And she'll be a senior in high school next year.
That's outstanding.
Hey, Rich, I'll just add, I think the ladies will appreciate this. Reagan's high school coach is a former OCU golfer, Taylor Howard, who was, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 or 9 years after you guys. But I think, Kyle Blazer started this. I think Derek Freeman really sort of took us into this next level. But I want you to know that Marty has really, he pours his life into this. And we very much want to sort of keep this family going. It's true that in life that, maybe it's 10 or 15 years in this case later that you kind of look back and think, gosh, I really am proud, or I really do appreciate that opportunity. But I didn't know that Reagan was going to be introduced. She's still, I think she's still at least a year away from coming to OCU. It's pretty cool that her high school coach is also a former golfer from OCU.
All right. I was going to say, looking back on your experience at OCU, how do you find that it prepared you for your later career?
I'll start by just saying one of the great things that I learned at OCU, not only just developing my coaching skills and the ability to work with young people and help them achieve their goals and dreams, but by the leadership of Jim and the president, giving us the freedom to experiment and to go out and to make our teams better. And you know, I had to learn how to raise money. I had to learn how to do all of the media. I had to learn how to do all of the being a golf coach, with working on the mental side, working on the short game, working on every aspect. And so it allowed me to develop my skills in a way that I've used, you know, ever since then. And if you start in the coaching career and you're at a place that you have access to everything you need, I'm not sure that you develop those skills. And so I've forever been thankful for the opportunity that I got to spend my time at OCU, because it's a special place. And I was just a young man trying to figure out how I could get into coaching, and was going to do whatever I could to get the opportunity. And fortunately enough, they all agreed that, you know, they would give me that chance. And so I had to make the most of it. I had to prove to myself and to our teams and to OCU administration that I was worthy of being there. And you know, I think once you set a standard of excellence, then it just carries and continues on. And I think that's one of the great things that I've loved watching Marty continue to excel and win championships, because they're not easy. It's very difficult to win, especially in this sport. So to see the success that continues to take place at OCU, it's a lot of fun to watch and watch from afar. And I'm always looking at the scores and seeing how they're doing. And so, you know, it's something that I'll never forget being a part of, and we'll always look back on and appreciate the time and the effort and the trust that was given to me to continue building on what Coach Blazer had started. And obviously, Marty's, you know, done great things and made it even better than where I left it. So that's what coaches should do and need to do. And so it's been fun to watch that take place, you know, over the last 10, 12 years.
Emily or Christina, did you want to answer that question as well?
Well, for me, it was, I mean, during all those years, all the traveling we did, all the places we went to eat, all the courses we played, even got to play that really expensive one outside of Oklahoma City. Gaillardia, what's it called?
Gaillardia.
Yeah, with the gate and everything. But no, but and even yeah, we don't have those here. But all the girls, everyone was so like good with the academics. There was never a problem. It was always easy for us to do well on the golf course. You know, we had everything. You know, just balls, clothes, whatever you need. Here you are. So it made it easy for us to get better at our game and do the best we could. And I mean, the university was amazing. Everyone was really nice, and yeah, I mean, it just made me believe in myself more, I guess I could say. And that's helped me during my career. I was supposed to be a golf instructor, actually. I worked for like an assistant for a year, but then I jumped over to sales and became a sales manager. And yeah, I learned a lot about leadership as well. Because when you have good leadership, you can recognize what poor leadership is. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. And I think about it. And I also check, I watch on the Facebook page, and I check scores on the men's side too, obviously. And I have a lot of the players on both teams still on Facebook, so you can see what people are up to in their private lives. So that's nice. Hopefully I can come back someday and play some golf, I hope.
We should time that. We should go down there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Let's do that. We can go to Red Rooster. We can go to Red Rooster too if it's still around.
Hey, you know, I got out of that a long time ago, and they remodeled it, and it's all like hoity-toity now.
Okay.
It ain't Red Rooster.
Scratch that then.
Or we can just all go over to Sweden. I don't know.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just come over.
I think for me, the biggest thing was learning a whole new set of standards for myself and a level of confidence. I walked into the business world, you know, like everybody does from college, but because of dealing with guys like Jim and Coach D, and, you know, I walked in and the chairman of the board, Ed Martin, I'm like, hey, what's up? What'd you play this weekend, you know? And I got these people like, you're talking to him. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I've seen him on the golf course. It's cool. And my professional career, I have excelled at everything I've done. And that's not me. That's everything that's built me. And these people that have made me and gave me confidence. And in the sense that, you know, it isn't the end of the world, right? And by getting it out of your own way, you can just about do anything you want to. And I'm like Emily, you know, we were given all these things. I didn't realize how expensive golf balls were.
Me either.
Oh my God, I went to go buy some Pro V1s and I was like, what's no? And then, you know, so I went and worked for Bridgestone Golf, so I got free golf balls for life, right? So no, it creates a whole nother set. It's not even golf, right? It's learning sportsmanship, learning manners, learning confidence, learning how to follow through. And Emily, you're being in sales. What's the number one problem with a bad salesperson? They don't follow through. And regardless how you get to the end, and I've played some horrible rounds, but I got to the end. And just like everything in life, though, it all taught me what I am today. And even if it is horrible, I take pride in it. And then when it's good, you don't gloat in it either. You move on. So just the experience, and let's not forget that the school aspect. I don't think I've cried harder when I heard about Dr. May, things of that nature. I mean, I was so close to my professors. The education I got was second to none. There's not enough things I can say about it. It's beyond the golf program, and beyond, it's everything. And I see Jim shake his head. I mean, I know what it's just, there's such a great experience. You guys offer something that part's priceless. And when people talk about the golf part, that's only an aspect of it. And like Emily said, we all had good grades. I think we were more competitive sometimes with grades.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I live with Melissa Burkpile, and we're both business majors. And I think I graduated with a 3.6 something. And I thought it was horrible because she had above a 4
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was great. It was exciting. So.
I have to add, Rich, it's interesting to me that one of Emily's and Christina evidently's memories of the Red Rooster, because what I remember is Coach Freeman coming to me and say, "Hey, we got a sponsor for our tournament."
Oh, that's right.
I in retrospect, I did not know what the Red Rooster was. I later visited the Red Rooster, and I thought, oh my God, if the university ever knew that this played on the tournament. And then
Whatever it takes, Jim.
Hey, sell it.
I will tell you, Emily, Christina is right. The Red Rooster is no longer a dive bar. It's a kind of frou-frou restaurant, it's not the same, but Talk of the Walk, however, is still the same, so you could maybe go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember that somewhere deep.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Is a T-shirt that had the Red Rooster sponsoring a tournament.
Hey, Jim, you told me to go get money. I went and got money.
Yeah.
Are you the one who got that sponsorship?
I ended up owning that place, actually. Yeah.
Right.
We tried to raise every $20 or $50 we could. I mean, every single, it was important.
Marty can relate. It hadn't changed that much. We're still looking for every dollar we can to fund our programs, but I remember that pretty vividly.
How many spots do you have nowadays? Is it still 6 or?
We have 22. And 6 of those are track, so cross country, indoor, and outdoor track. Since you've been there, we've added volleyball, wrestling. We have men's and women's wrestling. We have rowing. I think we had rowing when you were there. It had just started.
Just started.
But we play just about everything other than football.
And how many girls are on the golf team now?
We'll have 8 next year.
8? No.
Yes, we had 10 this year, and we'll have 8 next year.
10. Okay.
10. Yeah.
I don't think that was even the high number that you've had since you've been here, Marty.
Yeah, 11's the most we've had.
Well, getting a little deeper into
one thing I wanted to add, and Rich, you've got a program, so tell me if you need me to be quiet. As a coach, your program is really only as good as what your student athletes are. And we just had incredible young women in the program, and it's fun to be a part of it and to watch them grow and to see them gain confidence and understand that there's more to life than golf scores. There's more to life than making a B on a test. As bad as you feel in some of those situations, and the importance that you place on it, it's still just something that you're trying to experience with teammates and coaches, and the relationships that you build. And so I think having such great student athletes at OCU really allows you to be successful and allows you to continue to have the success that you have. So that's something that I really remember, the quality of the student athlete that goes to the school.
As an athletic director, I would only add that same saying is true of I'm only as good as the coaches that we have, and the 2 coaches on this call are as good as we've had in my time here, no doubt.
Thank you. That's nice of you to say.
Well, one thing about this 05 team was that you guys have alluded to how OCU had finished as runner-up at the national tournament the previous 2 years. And what do you feel like it took for the team to break through and win this title?
Well, I think from my perspective, it was it wasn't even that we lost and that hurts. And as a competitor, you never want to lose. And I just felt like we were building momentum to really be special and really do some pretty cool things. And there wasn't another golf program in the country that was working as hard as what we were doing. And I'm sure the girls can tell you, when we were, out there at Lincoln Park and it was 20 degrees and, there was ice on there and the golf course was closed, but I had us out there practicing. It's the standard that they understood that that's how we were going to work and that's how we were going to live. So for them to accept that and understand that's the level of expectation that we have, we're going to work that hard, and losing is not going to be an option again. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're as prepared as we ever could be. And that goes from, having a great fall to having a great spring, to preparing properly, to having the great practice round, and doing all the things that are necessary, because you don't win the national championship just in those 4 days. It starts, 8 months prior to that, and the work that you're willing to put in. And like I said earlier, I didn't have a team. I haven't had a team yet in all at UCLA or Oklahoma that has worked as hard as what our women's team did there. They just worked hard, and whatever I asked of them, they were willing to do. And I mean, we practiced really, really hard and did some difficult things, and they just believed in we were going to get better and get win. And as Emily said, the expectation was we're going to win. And so, it takes time to get to that mentality. And so we had been so close a couple of years prior. We were just not going to accept that we weren't going to win that year.
Yeah, you even asked us to run the golf course. Remember
that? There's no telling what I had you guys do. I mean, I had you run. We ran in the morning. We did the erg machines. You remember that?
Yeah.
We did meditation. We were gonna uncover every single possibility of what we needed to do to get better. And I wasn't going to take any chances anywhere. So whatever it took, I was going to push the team to do that. And again, the credit goes to them. They're the ones that are hitting the golf shots. They're the ones that are out there doing everything at practice. And so they trusted me enough to be able to go out and do those things that I was asking in practice. And so even though, as Christina said, she didn't hit a golf shot at the national championship, that didn't matter, because she was at every single practice working just as hard as everyone else and pushing the team and being in a extremely important role in how the team had success. So, regardless of hitting a shot at the championship or not, didn't really matter. So it was a full team effort, and it lasted from day one to holding up that banner and winning the national championship.
One thing about that team was that you guys had such a wide margin of victory, 49 strokes, had the top three individuals. And I guess you may have alluded to it already, but what do you feel like set up the team to succeed like they did that week?
What do you think, Emily?
Sorry, set up the seat. Well, actually, when I look back or think back on that week in particular, we had just won the regionals down in San Antonio, right?
That's correct.
So we had a lot of confidence, but we were so focused. I remember, at least I was, like, that was all I could think about. But on the other hand, we were so well prepared that we knew that we didn't have to do anything like out of the ordinary. Just do what you do, and we're gonna win this thing. And if I remember correctly, we had a really good first round. I think, like we were ahead from the first round to the fourth, I think. And then it was just, everyone was like, we had this confidence in the team that was, you just had to look at each other, and it was, you knew. You didn't have to, we never doubted what we were going to do that year.
Actually, you mentioned that you guys were leading after the first day. You guys were actually in second place after one day.
Oh, sorry.
But it really was a hard closing tournament that you guys had, because, excuse me, you guys set records the last two rounds.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
And that's what I kept, I two things. I think, number one, it's all about preparation, and Emily touched on it. No one was going to out-prepare us. So it was just a matter of, could we continue to do the things that were necessary to be successful? And I knew that if we just gave ourselves the opportunity, if we didn't hurt ourselves early in the tournament, we were going to have an opportunity to win the championship in the end. So I wasn't worried or stressed in the beginning, because I knew over time it was only going to be a matter of time before we were going to go up and catch whoever was in front of us. And then it just got to where, we just kind of got steamrolling. We got playing really good, and it was a tough golf course, and, a better team's gonna score better over a longer period of time. And I just knew that it was just a matter of time before we were going to have the success and do what we needed to do. And, luckily they just kept going, and we didn't even look back.
Tell us a little bit about the conditions of that course. You mentioned it was a good course. And looking back on some of the stories, it looks like there was some wind and some rainy weather that week.
Yeah. It was a challenging golf course, and it was difficult. And I really felt like that was a huge benefit for us. I mean, we had better players, better ball strikers. We prepared better. So you want the conditions to be tough. And as Emily has said, I really stressed to them that you can't worry about those things and not let that affect who you are as a player, because the rest of the field's going to worry about that. They're going to get upset. They're going to get worried, and they're going to talk about those type of things. So if we just take care of our business, do what we're supposed to do, play smart golf, we're going to be in great shape. So, I was excited that the golf course was difficult and that we had tough conditions, because I really felt like over a long period of time, no one was going to be able to withstand what we could do on the golf course.
Emily was the national champion by 9 strokes, and the runner-up was Bonnie Howard from OCU. Melissa Burkpile was in third place. She was 16 strokes behind Emily. And Emily, what did it take to win the individual national title? And what went into your 33 on the front 9 in the third round?
Yeah, that was right. Well, I know, as I said before, I was really focused that week, and I was hitting the ball well and pretty far. So there were a couple of holes where my length gave me an advantage, but I was pretty consistent. And then my putter, your putter, Derek, actually, the one you can't use anymore. But that was the one that made the 33 on the front 9 that last round. And I remember I think I was 5 under par for a while. And then on the let's see, 16th hole. It was wet and I chunked it. I made a triple. So I was under par anyway, so that was fun. But I was really nervous that round. But I think it was just, I was focused and I really wanted it. I thought about it all the time, and I probably dreamt about it too, but the course fit me well. There were a couple short par fours. I know I drove one of them once or twice. So, but it was really the putter that made my score that week. And
Yeah.
just the atmosphere, and I haven't thought about this in detail for a long time, but we really wanted it. And I think the harder you work to get to that point, you don't want to let it go. So we really wanted to win.
Yeah, you had a 33 on that front nine and ended up with a 71, and that was the tournament record. And Melissa Eldridge from OCU now holds the record. She had 67 last year at Lincoln.
Yeah.
And so, Emily, you were also on the national championship team from the next year. This was actually your junior year, so your senior year was the next year. How would you compare your experiences with those two teams?
We had great players on both teams. The biggest difference was that Coach Freeman had left to UCLA, so that kind of changed the dynamic a little bit. But I know from my own, I didn't play as well that my senior year, unfortunately. But we had Ashley, the Canadian, and Sydney. So they were great players on that team. But, when you have that team, when we won 2005, we'd known each other for a little longer time period. But that was a great experience as well. I just didn't play as well myself. But yeah.
Last year we hosted nationals at Lincoln Park, and we were supposed to have done it just a few weeks ago. It got canceled this year. I wonder what you guys would have thought about playing that national championship home. I look at Christina in particular, and any player who's come through our program, male or female, has played hundreds of rounds at Lincoln Park. But what would you guys have thought about that?
Added pressure, maybe?
I was just going to say, that's what I lived with at OCU. I had to deal with my dad every day. It was awful.
So you're telling me you're glad you didn't have to play a championship here at home?
If I could go back to my younger self, I just would have said, girl, calm down, it doesn't matter. But at the time, it was my life. I was Steve Carson's daughter. I was my own, he knows, I was a basket. But no, I actually, and there's a video, I think I sent it to my dad, I shot later in life as production there at Ackerman McQueen. I did a video of Lincoln Park Golf Course and what it means to me. Actually, it's my home. It's been my home my entire life, the one constant in my life, and then the memories I've shared on it with these girls. Walking up the 7th tee on the west side, Emily asked, "What is Easter?" And Katie Treadwell looked at you and said, "It's Jesus's birthday." And we kept walking, and I looked at both of you, and I'm like, are we seriously having this conversation right now? Wait, can we back up a moment? That was probably one of my favorite moments in life. Because she thought she was telling you the truth. And I'm like, so then what's Christmas, Katie? But
oh my gosh.
I don't know. There's the littlest things. I think it would have been so memorable for us. But I think it would be memorable for anyone. But I think the added pressure, yes, for me specifically. But like Emily said, I think anybody you're expected to play well there.
Yeah, we probably would have, though, don't you think?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, but I just thought about all those tough qualifying rounds we had, prior to the tournaments. We had some really tough ones.
Yeah. I mean, that was, right. I'm trying to prepare us. I'm trying to get us to face adversity, and you're trying to do all the tricks that coaches play, with trying to make things at home as difficult as what they will be on the road. And it's a challenge, and it still is a challenge to this day. And so, we're trying to make it difficult. We're trying to make it hard. And whether it's, only, playing a certain tee that you're not used to, or irons only, or even irons, or, whatever it is, or long putts, there's a lot of different things, but, making it challenging while you're at home is part of what's fun about coaching, and trying to apply the pressure, as much as you can. So when, you're facing the battle of a national championship, you feel like you're used to it, and you can handle it, and you can handle whatever comes your way. And so that's really what I've tried to do as a coach, is try to make it tough on them in the right ways, but so they can handle things in life. I mean, as we all know, is what we're going through right now. I mean, life is challenging, and there's a lot of issues that are going on. And so as a coach, if I can help them understand that life is not always going to be easy. And I think that's what's great about sports and athletics in general, is just the difficulties you face every day of really that becoming what happens in life. So, having a national championship at Lincoln Park, it would have been great. It would have been great once you won it. It would have been, it would have been, I can understand the challenge of having a little bit more trepidation and thinking that it's going to be tougher and more pressure on you. But it would be sweeter once you do it, for sure.
I don't know if we're near the end or not. I want to share one other. Well, I want to share two things. You mentioned Melissa Burkpile. I'll never forget I guess it was the 04 championship was in Daytona. And I went to that tournament. And as you may imagine, it's very difficult to support an entire team of golfers, because you can literally stand in one place for an hour just to see them all play one hole. I will never forget Melissa's mother coming to me on maybe the second or third day. I was sitting at the green, and she very politely came to me and said, "Hey, can you not be standing here when Melissa comes through?" She said, "I think you make her nervous." So I quickly walked away to maybe follow Emily or somebody else. In a month or so, I forget the exact date, I want you to know that Susie Maxwell Burning, who is really the first female golfer in OCU history, she's going to be inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame. And now Susie actually played on the men's team. We didn't have a women's team, but it's a pretty cool deal, and it's made even cooler by the fact that among her class of inductees is Tiger Woods. So I just tell you that to tell you that you all have played such an important part in the tradition of our athletic department in this program. And you can be proud to know that we continue to work very hard to produce Emily's and Christina's. But it's so much bigger than all of us, I think. And I know I get a little sappy, but I'm just grateful for what we've experienced. Obviously some highs and some lows and some challenges, but there are just so many good things that have come of this, and I just wanted to make sure to mention that.
I guess you were wondering how close we are to, I guess, the end of the program or whatever. I guess I got only one other question, and I guess it's for Derek. So Derek, you won the NCAA championship in 08 with UCLA. And so I think you've alluded to it, but tell us how it compared to win that national title with this national championship as well?
Well, I think winning your first is always the sweetest. So I'll never forget the OCU national championship. Obviously, being on a stage at the NCAA championship, we won in Purdue. It was really something special. It was actually my first year as head coach at UCLA, and it's tough. It's challenging. I mean, it's the same type of thing, no matter what level. So I said the same things to the players at UCLA that I said to my team at OCU. And it's about hard work, and it's about preparation, and it's about understanding who you are as a person and how you can adjust to adversity. So is the stage bigger? Maybe. I mean, you've got cameras, and you've got the media, and you've got TV, and you've got all those things. But at the end of the day, it's a student athlete hitting a golf ball, trying to get it into a hole as fast as they can. And so they've both been sweet. And that national championship has eluded me ever since. So I need to go back to my core beliefs of what I do as a coach, and figure out what I did at OCU in my first year at UCLA. So they're hard. They're very, very difficult to win. And I think that's the one thing that I could always, I would say to someone is just don't take it for granted. I'm sure Marty doesn't. He understands it. National championships are tough, and it doesn't matter at what level. So again, the foundation that I built at OCU, and that was given to me and allowed to grow at OCU, only helped me, and it continues to help me as I am still coaching at UCLA now.
A couple of stats about that 05 team. There were 4 from the all-tournament team from OCU: Emily Albrechtson, Bonnie Howard, Melissa Burke-Pyle, and Tamara Campbell. All 5 of the team, including were all Americans, and that included Tally Gay. And then Emily Albrechtson, Tamara Campbell, and Christina Kung, who was redshirting that year, all became 4-time All-Americans at OCU, and OCU has only had 9 of those. And then that team was also the conference champion and the regional champion.
I mean, it just goes to show you how good those student athletes were. It's hard to be a 4-time All-American. It's hard to win national championships, both individually and as a team. And that's what that school demands. And it's the excellence that has been set, and that's the standard. And I think that's a good thing. And you don't want to shy away from that. And that's the attraction for these student athletes that want to come be a part of that. That's the story they want to live and they want to be inside of. And so it's fun to watch. It's fun to hear about the stats, and it's fun to listen to where everyone goes after that. And, golf is tough as a career. And so to see the success that everyone's having is a lot of fun, and it feels good to know that you were a small piece of that. And I'll forever be grateful to what OCU has done for me in my career.
And just to wrap up, are there any untold stories from that year, from that season, from that week? Anything else that we can talk about with that 05 team?
Well, I would like just to say, and that's all the years really, but aside from the great coaches and the staff and professors at the school, for me, since I not American. All the parents that were there and supported us, and Christina and the other girls were so, everyone helped each other, and we were there for each other. And that was, part of our success. And I do remember another thing. We talk about the qualifiers, and we did some funny stuff. We qualified, Derek, you made us drop the ball at the 100-yard mark, and we qualified that way. And I was like, okay, my driver's my best club, but so it got a little closer. But understanding the game, that was something Freeman did well as I remember, with the wind, and we really studied the course and where to place the ball and what club to hit and stuff like that. So the preparation was really good in that weekend during all the years, really. But the whole experience, it was so many parts that made it to what it was. And yeah.
Well, that was looking back on the 05 National Championship team, and I'll let you guys visit for a little longer.
Great. Thank you, Rich.
I came in late, Emily and Christina. Tell me, Emily, you're a sales manager, so what are you selling?
My soul. No, I'm selling first aid equipment and CPR classes to businesses. Right now, we're actually also selling PPE equipment, masks and gloves and stuff. So, but we have also, our sales have declined, my own, but like 50%, I think. So it's tougher nowadays, even here.
Hey, real quick, it was great seeing everyone. I'm going to go find some future players so we can keep our program going.
Awesome, Marty.
Good luck.
Go for it. Good luck.
Great seeing you guys.
Yeah, you too.